So I'm beyond exhausted right now, like beyond exhausted, because I have just been putting a lot of work during this past week and this time in quarantine. And I just needed to talk to you guys about something before I went to bed. And I was inspired by it because, if I'm being honest, I was very unmotivated and unhappy with where I was when it came to my brand. And a few nights ago, something just happened where it hit me and it made me realize that I can't forget about all the things that I have accomplished in the 10 years that I have been in this music industry and trying to build my brand. So today I want to talk to you guys about not forgetting about your accomplishments. We've all been in quarantine for a month now, and when we're in quarantine, we have nothing we can do except for be in our thoughts and reflect on ourselves, whether that is good reflection or bad reflection. But we tend to be a lot harder on ourselves, and I think there's a lot of people out there who have been freaking out about, like, what do they do next? How can they get by? And I think it's just like a lot. I think we're all just going through it right now, whether we want to admit it or not. But like I said earlier in the video, I was very unmotivated and unhappy with what I was doing with my brand. And I hit that breaking point and realized that I felt that way because I was doing so much more when it came to my brand a few years ago, because I have this problem of not being consistent and not being focused. So I'm always busy and I'm always working on stuff, but it wasn't necessarily the stuff that made me happy. And what makes me happy is doing inspirational videos and doing interviews, and I just wasn't giving the proper time into that. So I felt like if I wasn't doing that, I felt like I was failing and I wasn't doing enough. And then my mind started thinking that it was going to be, or that it is too late to be able to do what I want to do, and that's to be able to really just make my living off of talking. So whether that is the inspirational videos, the interviews, or motivational speaking. And with my birthday coming up in June and about to be 30, I just felt like it's too late to accomplish what I did, and there's no one, not like no one, like I felt like I said, that it was too late, or that I already like past that point and I've done everything that I can do. And then I realized I had to snap out of that. Just because your life doesn't look like how it did maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, and you're doing different things, doesn't mean that you're not successful, and it doesn't mean that your dreams can't still happen. I had to really sit there and remind myself of what I've been doing since I was 19 years old, and the things that I have accomplished between 19 to 29 are things I would have never imagined. And I think that we become too hard on ourselves when we don't accomplish a certain goal or a milestone at a certain age. And then when we get older and older, we think that it's too late to accomplish that, or you feel like you don't even have it in you anymore, but you do. And a way to remind yourself about that is to remember what you've already accomplished, and you cannot forget about all the accomplishments you have already made. You have to remember that those things that you accomplished were things that you never thought would be possible before, and you have to keep that mindset in the future, because if you don't, how are you ever going to be able to accomplish them? During this time, we are all by ourselves, and we have to be our biggest fans and our biggest motivation. We can't spend our time laying around binge watching TV or feeling sorry for ourselves. And like, I'm not judging anyone on binge watching. Trust me, I'm doing that, but I'm making sure that I'm binge watching later at night, and then I'm really putting that proper time of being productive and working towards what makes me happy and staying busy in that during the day and even up until now. So stop being hard on yourself. Stop thinking that just because you're not doing something that you were doing before is the only thing that's going to make you successful, or thinking that you're not successful just because you're not doing that specific thing. One, you can still do that thing, and two, if that wasn't your passion, there is going to be something else so that you can be successful and you are successful, and you have to remind yourself of that every day and stop letting times like this, like whether if you have lost your job, lost your motivation, lost your passion, you can't let times like this discourage you, and you have to just keep going. So I don't know who that video was for, but I just couldn't go to sleep without talking about this. And I'm excited because I feel like I kind of got this like push during this time to really focus on what I'm going to do, and I'm really excited to see what I do for the remainder of this quarantine and the remainder of 2020. All I know is I'm really excited, and it feels so good to just be back. I didn't like doing content before because I felt like it would be forced, and now I just feel like I'm in such a better place. Nothing's going to be forced, and I'm just like, I just want to inspire you guys again, and I couldn't inspire you guys again until I could inspire myself. So keep going, don't give up, and let's do this. I don't even know what the proper word would be, but let's beat this quarantine. We're all going to be okay, and this is just a phase. This is just a phase for us to reflect, learn, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but at the end of the day, it is going to be okay.